Please remain standing for a moment of silence. I'd ask that you keep in your thoughts and prayers the brave servicemen and women serving our country, both here and abroad. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, good morning. If the clerk would call the roll.
Councilman Martinez.
Here.
Councilman McSweeney.
Here.
Councilman Gregory.
Here.
Supervisor Schaefer.
Here.
And an excused absence from Councilman Mineta.
Yes, he is excused for today. So just by way of information, if you're watching us on our YouTube channel at this time, which is 10 o'clock on Wednesday the 13th, there is a link to our agenda as well as the listed public hearings for today. You can click that link and send us a message if you'd like to submit a comment on any one of the public hearings or the resolutions, or if you're looking to address the board on any matters that are not on today's agenda, you can also utilize that link and it will get a message to us and we'll be able to address comments or concerns or questions that you have. If you're watching it at a later time than 10 o'clock on Wednesday the 13th, you can still utilize that link. It will be live and you'll be able to send us a message post town board meeting in real time. If you're here in person, if you're interested in addressing the board on any of the public hearings that are scheduled for today, there are 5 public hearings. You should fill out a card up front and file with our town clerk, Jerry Compitello. Second portion is the agenda. So there are agendas up on the table up front. So if you're interested in addressing any of the items listed on the agenda for that, as well, we ask you to fill out a card. And if you're looking to address the board on items that are not on today's agenda but are concerning town government or town services, that'll be during the open portion. And you can come forward, sign, fill out a card. When you do come forward to the podium, please state clearly your name and address for the stenographer. And we ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes. So with that, we'll go into the public hearings scheduled for today. And the first public hearing, which is a public hearing in reference to adopting local law number blank of 22, amending chapter 213, article 43, section 213-538 and 213-548 of the Code of the Town of Babylon, lot and bulk controls, off-street parking. I don't have any cards for that, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Martinez, second by Councilman McSweeney to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision reserved. Second public hearing is a public hearing in reference to amending Chapter 213, Article 35, Section 213-420 and 213-423 of the Code of the Town of Babylon, definitions, secondary uses. Don't have any cards for that, so I'll take a motion from Councilman McSweeney, second by Councilman Gregory to close and reserve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision reserved. Third public hearing is a public hearing in reference to amending Chapter 213, Article 41, Section 213-488, Section 213-489, and Section 213-490 of the Code of the Town of Babylon regarding smoking. No cards on that, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Gregory, second by Councilman Martinez to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision reserved. Fourth public hearing is a public hearing in reference to amending Chapter 133, Article 4, Section 133-14 of the Code of the Town of Babylon, license classifications and fees. I don't have any cards on that, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Martinez, second by Councilman McSweeney to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision reserved. Fifth public hearing is a public hearing in reference to designating the premises known as 1501 Straight Path, Wyandanch, New York 11798, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 0100-05-00-04.00-016.001, a public nuisance, authorizing the boarding up of said premises and authorizing the town attorney to commence litigation. I'm going to make a motion to adjourn this hearing to our next meeting, which is August 3rd at 10 a.m. That's based on communication from the attorney for the property owner who wishes to bring the property owner in to meet with staff next week sometime to go over the issues that have been circulating and the arrests that have been made at this location, which is a gas station on Straight Path. And so we agreed to adjourn this today. The attorney wasn't available to attend the public hearing this morning, and we'll be meeting and then we'll advise the board as to what actions are taken as a result of the meeting. So I'll make that motion to adjourn to August 3rd at 10 a.m. Second by Councilman Martinez. All those in favor? Opposed? This hearing is adjourned to August 3rd at 10 a.m. That's it for the public hearings. Now we've got for the agenda today, I'm going to call the speakers first. I have resolution, who wish to address resolution 604, Victoria Youngigaitis. Victoria, would you like to address the board? And Jessica Giuliano? Okay, so you're the attorney. Okay, why don't you come forward then? And Victoria's address is 871 Catskill Avenue in Lindenhurst.
Yes.
And Jessica, just state your address and if you're a sole practitioner or you're from a firm.
Sure. My name is Jessica Giuliano. My address is, my firm's name is Simonetti and Associates. Our address is 575 Underhill Boulevard, Suite 127 in Syosset, New York, 11791. So I'm here today, obviously, on behalf of Victoria Youngigaitis. She resides at 871 Catskill Avenue. Her house, she was in the hospital. She is diagnosed with breast cancer that has presently metastasized to mainly all areas of her body. And so while she was in the hospital, the town, I guess, came and inspected the property and wrote a notice that we should attend today's hearing. They want to condemn the property. And in light of her circumstances, since she's been home from the hospital, she's made significant strides to attempt to fix all of the violations. My office was retained back in May, I believe it was May 25th, and we've been trying to contact the town attorney and the Code Enforcement Bureau. I have been in touch with the assistant town attorney on many occasions, and he's been very helpful to us. But code enforcement has not gotten back to me. We've been told to make appointments, to call, leave voicemails, and nothing has transpired. So at this point, I'm here on her behalf because she has no place to go, she has no family, and she needs to be able to stay in her house. And she's working to fix all of the violations that she can possibly think of. We just don't know exactly what those violations are to even be corrected at this point. So.
Sure. Have you been to the property?
I have. I was actually there this morning.
Were you?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I think, I obviously was not able to.
Did you see the pictures of when we?
So I
mean, I wouldn't want to have her live in the conditions that we found.
Right, I understand.
And so I'm willing to work with you, so I want you to jot down my cell phone number.
Okay, let me just,
right there.
Let me just grab that.
Because I can't live with myself knowing that she's going to that house.
Right.
Especially in the medical condition that she's in. I mean, I have an extra bedroom. I'll move her into my house. I don't think that anyone in their right mind would let her go back into that house.
Right. I have, like I said, I was there this morning. I can't vouch for the conditions that it was prior.
I'm just telling you, if you want, we can show you pictures and video, and it was in the top 5 worst that I've seen in 35 years.
And I understand, but
can't let her go back. I mean, she won't last.
Well, I mean, at this point, she's willing to. She's made arrangements.
No, we're gonna work with you. What I'm saying to you is, I want to make clear that on the record, for somebody listening to you, putting on the record that there's definitely an issue here,
right?
That we need to work with her on.
Right, and I would appreciate that.
And we will do that. But I can't live with myself letting her have her back in that house.
Right. Well, I mean, she's willing to make all of the arrangements.
No. I'm saying that we know what she's willing to do, but she's also suffering from breast cancer.
Right.
Right. So we have to figure out how to pivot from her worrying about breast cancer, which should be her main worry right now, and how we deal with the house.
Absolutely.
So you're a good person to be an intermediary on how to deal with that situation.
Like I said, I've just unfortunately been struggling. We kind of hit a wall. I have been in contact with the
So jot down my cell.
Sure.
So you won't hit any more walls.
I appreciate it.
516-429-3763.
Great.
Okay?
I appreciate it.
And then what we'll do is let's talk, where's Ronnie? Ronnie Klusner is our chief of staff right here, this gentleman. So if you want for now, you can talk to him, but we can talk right after this board meeting and see what kind of game plan we have to come up with.
Great, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Okay. And these are all open. Okay, so we'll go into the agenda now. I'm sorry? Oh, you want to come up? Okay, I'm sorry. Just state your, if, in fact, pull the microphone down. Right, there you go.
My name is Victoria Youngitis.
Yes,
I have laryngitis.
871 Catskill.
Correct.
Right,
While I was in the hospital, I had arranged prior to going to the hospital for 2 pet sitters who were taking care of my animals. The conditions of my house, it was vandalized, outside and inside. People who were...
it was vandalized when you were in the hospital or
yes,
before?
probably May 12th, prior to May 13th.
So no one was in the house, but it was vandalized while you
Well,
were...
no, my pet sitters were in the house.
I'm sorry?
My pet sitters were in the house.
The pets.
My pet sitters.
Pet sitters were in
I
the
had
house.
arranged 2, and I was trying to arrange a 3rd, but people that saw the outside told me my lawnmower was turned upside down, my snowblower was turned upside down, my ladder was thrown, debris was thrown all in my yard, stuff from my mudroom was thrown in a pile in my driveway. These were pictures that were taken that were on the notice that I saw. When I got home from the hospital on May 26th, my house was inside, was unrecognizable. They had taken my property, made a huge mountain of stuff on my dining room table. They took stuff from the first floor, threw it on the second floor. There was debris everywhere. It was unrecognizable. It was a nightmare. I immediately began cleaning. Within 3 days, I had the community advocate, Michael Rivera, come with 2 people to assist me. He couldn't believe how much cleaning I had done in those few days from being home from the hospital.
Good.
I have now cleaned the kitchen, the living room, the dining room. I finished the dining room last night, the bedroom, and we have pictures showing you.
Oh, good.
And I wish we had a little bit more because my place is clean.
All right, we could take a look at them after
Please.
the meeting.
Please, and in fact, I invite you to come to my house and see for yourself.
And we work with Michael, who's with Adult Protective Services.
Correct, but he's extremely busy.
Yes.
I haven't been able to get him to come back.
Mhm.
And again, I'm ready for a second inspection.
Great. So
There's no debris on the floor. It is clean. There's no odor.
Great. We'll work with you on that after the board meeting.
Anyone who is welcome to come to my house to see the way it is right now.
Great.
Okay, it's a clean house,
Okay.
and I'm very comfortable living there.
Great.
So again, I'm waiting for this inspection. My attorney's been trying to reach Mr. Morrow for weeks to come to give a second inspection, and he has not done so. He's not returned our calls.
Yep.
So we've been reaching out, and
We'll find out where the breakdown is there, but now you have my cell number, so you can call me direct.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll go into the resolutions for today. Resolution 549.
I offer resolution 549.
Second.
All is in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 550.
Offer resolution 550.
Second.
All is in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 551.
I offer resolution 551. Second.
All is in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 552.
I offer 552.
Second.
All is in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 553.
Offer resolution 553.
Second.
All is in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 554.
I offer 554. Second.
All is in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 555.
I offer resolution 555.
Second.
All is in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 556.
Offer resolution 556.
Second.
All is in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 557.
I offer 557. Second.
All is in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 558.
I offer 558.
Second.
All is in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 559.
Offer resolution 559.
Second.
All is in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 560.
I offer resolution 560. Second.
All is in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 561.
I offer resolution 561.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 562.
Resolution 562.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 563.
I offer 563.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 564.
I offer 564.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 565.
Offer resolution 565.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 566.
I offer resolution 566. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 567.
I offer 567.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 568.
Offer resolution 568.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 569.
I offer resolution 569. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 570.
I offer resolution 570.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 571.
Offer resolution 571.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 572.
I offer resolution 572. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 573.
I offer 573.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 574.
Offer resolution 574.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 575.
I offer 575. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 576.
I offer resolution 576.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 577.
Resolution 577.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 578.
I offer 578. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 579.
I offer 579.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 580.
Offer resolution 580.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 581.
I offer resolution 581. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 582.
I offer 582.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 583.
Offer resolution 583.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 584.
I offer resolution 584. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 585.
I offer 585.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 586.
Offer resolution 586.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 587.
I offer resolution 587. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 588.
I offer resolution 588.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 589.
Offer resolution 589.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 590.
I offer 590. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 591.
I offer 591.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 592.
Offer resolution 592.
I second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 593.
I offer 593. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 594.
I offer resolution 594.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 595.
Offer resolution 595.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 596.
I offer 596. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 597.
I offer resolution 597.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 598.
Offer resolution 598.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 599.
I offer 599. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 600.
I offer 600.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 601.
Offer resolution 601.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 602.
I offer 602. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 603.
I offer resolution 603.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. On 604, I'm going to table that to August 3rd, based on the conversations that we just had with the attorney and the property owner. Second by Councilman Martinez. All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is tabled to August 3rd. Resolution 605.
I offer resolution 605. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 606.
I offer 606.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 607.
Offer resolution 607.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 608.
I offer resolution 608. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 609.
I offer 609.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 610.
Offer resolution 610.
I second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 611.
I move resolution 611. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. And resolution 612.
I offer resolution 612.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. That's it for the resolution. So we'll go to the open portion. You got the,
Yes.
and we'll go to the cards. We have Rose Thomas. If you just come forward, Ms. Thomas, and state your name and address.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Rose Purnell Thomas. I'm at 456 Bayview Avenue. I have been there over 40 years.
Mhm.
I have a couple complaints, but the one that I put down across at Home Depot, I'm across from Home Depot in Copac.
In the parking lot?
Yes,
Yeah, we've been dealing with the cars, yeah,
that's my thing.
and at the quick check.
Every time I call the cops, they take a while to come, but they do show up and then they leave.
So
And
can
then
you
they
do
right
this
back
for
again.
me? Because we've successfully been able to deal with this in a couple of areas, so people are able to text me. We had a situation over off of Edison Avenue recently that we've been dealing with, these giant speakers on top of the cars. They're like, I think, an additional layer of car, but if you take my cell phone number and if you text me in real time when it's happening, so for example, 4th of July, I had COVID, the guy was texting me at 1 and 2 in the morning, but we were able to get the police there right away. So instead of, sometimes you'll call them, they may show up and the people are not there anymore doing the racing or loud music, blah, blah, blah. So if you text me, we have a good relationship with the first precinct. We also have a relationship now. We reached out to the Quick Check. They have a security person who's in charge of that location. So we're gonna speak to him again about that. Home Depot, that's Kimco Realty, which is Home Depot, Target, and
Right.
the other stores in there. So we'll reach out to Kimco as well
All right.
on
then.
that. But take my cell phone number down. It's 516-429-3763. So again, if you can text me or call me, doesn't matter. Text or call when you're when it's going on
All right.
at that moment. And don't worry about, I don't really sleep unless with COVID that did knock me out for 3 days.
All right.
But you can text me and then we'll work on it from
All
there.
right. Excuse me. I have one more issue, even though I
Yeah,
didn't
sure.
put it on the paper. Across from my home,
Mhm.
and I know I had called several times, back in the days, they had said that people cannot be loitering around.
You
Over
mean
there
on
at
the,
Home
on the
Depot?
street or
Yes,
in the parking lot?
yes, right facing my home. I called.
Right,
one-
so you're south of
I'm right next,
Sunrise.
yes, I'm right next door to the funeral home.
Yep, oh, okay.
And I was coming home one day, and I seen the young man turn around and urinate right there.
Okay.
I called the police. They said was nothing too much they can do. When I see it again, take a picture. Take a picture. And I mean,
We don't want
they,
that on your phone.
no, they throw food down. I'm having more rollers and stuff coming in from over there because they throw the food
So
down.
we have to get that area cleaned
Yes,
up?
because every morning they out there and they just, I can't even see them looking for a job. So
Yeah,
they just
so-
come there and hang out.
Oh, I see what you're saying, okay.
Yes.
So that's that area where,
Where it used to be pretty flowers there, nice,
Yep.
nothing but dirt, and they sit there and they eat, they play their
yeah,
music.
so we can talk to Kimco about that area
Please
as
do,
well.
because it's terrible, because like I said, I've been in my home over 40 years.
And you put your phone number is 842-5120?
Yes.
Okay, good, so we'll be in touch with you on that.
All right, thank you all ever
Because
so
we have
much.
a beautification program that we take these areas to sell more. In fact, she's from Copeg. Vasel's in the back. Oh, there's Vasel, sorry. So we'll talk to Vasel about coming up with something that we could do right over there.
All right,
And we'll
then.
make Home Depot pay for it.
Please do.
Yeah,
Thank you all ever so much.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
okay. Alice Pinnell? You can give me a copy of that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Alice Purnell. I live at 146 Steel Place in Amityville. I've been complaining, calling to the town for the property at 148 Steel Place. My neighbor house, the house is abandoned. I guess, I wouldn't say it's abandoned, but no one lives, it's vacant.
And about how long?
I've been calling maybe like over 4 years.
Oh, and that's how long the house has been vacant?
About 10 years.
10 years,
Yeah.
okay. And you think it's owned by Suffolk County?
It is owned by the
It
county.
is,
I was told by
okay.
county, yeah.
So what we'll do is, if the property is owned by a bank or a lender, a lot of times some of these have gone into foreclosure, we can issue notices of violation to the bank, and then we can go there and clean it up and bill the property owner. Since it's owned by Suffolk County is above us, so we're not allowed to give them violations. Under law, they don't have to listen to us, but we're gonna contact Suffolk County legislator Jason Richburg and see about getting that property cleaned up. If the county agrees to let us go on there and place that charge on the property tax bill, so whoever buys it at auction would cover that charge, then we'll do that. But we'll take a look at 148 Steel Place in Amityville.
Well, they do come and cut the front of the yard.
Yeah, but they have to do everything.
Yeah, but they don't, they cut the hedges once in
Yeah,
4 years. They don't cut the back.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
And they cut the back this time because I called and, because the hedge is overgrown over my fence. And
Yeah.
it's holes in the house, there's raccoons up in the attic, the roof is falling
And
down.
Ronnie, let's get
It's mold and
let's
everything
get
around
an
the house.
engineer's report on it, and then we'll present it to the county. So if there are structural issues.
Yes.
If you saw, we had a number of resolutions that authorized demolition.
Mhm.
These are homes that are foreclosed on, that have been left by the bank and deteriorated to a condition that they're not safe anymore. So we have a couple on the agenda today. So we'll see about whether or not this is structurally sound and whether or not it should be demolished.
I think it should, because maybe like about 5 years ago, town did come and put a piece of paper on the door.
Mhm.
It's a white piece, a yellow piece of paper, so you couldn't go in the building.
Oh, so it was deemed to be hazardous and
Yeah.
unsafe. So we'll get the history on it, and then we have your contact info. Do you have an email address?
Yes.
What is it?
A Purnell,
PEN?
PERNELL,
NELL.
146 @gmail.com.
Okay, great. So we'll put you on an email so that we can start coming up with the history of everything.
Okay, and I have some pictures if you want to look at the pictures.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could give them to Mr. Klusner. He's the gentleman with the blue jacket. Right. Thank you, Mr. Purnell.
Thank you.
Okay. And I have Mary Curtis.
Good morning. I just have a
Good
complaint.
morning.
My name is Mary Curtis. I live at 21 West Jefferson Street, Amityville, New York, 11701. I called the town of Babylon several times, but the grass that fell across from me, the grass has grown so tall, taller than me.
Which
And-
property is it?
I'm 21 West Jefferson, is where I live, but it's across the street from me.
It's across from 21?
Yes,
Okay.
and they said that county owned it, but I've been calling.
Suffolk County?
Yes, and I've been calling, they didn't do anything about it.
Okay.
And then I have another issue. Tree fell down in my backyard. I got grandkids. They can't go in the backyard because the tree falling so low.
Is this a tree from that property?
And I don't have no trees on my property.
Oh, no, which tree is
It's
falling?
in the next neighbor tree,
Oh, it's a neighbor's tree.
but it fell in my
Into
property,
your
in my
property.
backyard.
Okay.
So I wanted, do the town take care of that or what?
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll have an inspector come meet with you out at the property so you could show him or her exactly what's going on, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, what about the property in front of me though?
Yes, that too. Yeah, you'll show them both, and then we'll get in touch with the county and get that cut.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, but what we'll do, Ronnie, is I'll give you Miss Curtis's info. We'll have Room 19 be in touch with you to schedule. They'll visit you out there on site,
Okay,
so you
then.
can show them everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please get that for Ronnie. Okay. Paul Lipinski. We have, very next.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Paul Lipinski, 65 Savannah Walk in Oak Beach, New York, 11702. And thank you for listening to me today.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Paul Lipinski. I'm a Town of Babylon taxpayer and a resident of Oak Beach. My residence is one of the 56 homes currently under a do not drink water advisory ordered by the Suffolk County Department of Health. I am here today to make public comment regarding the Town of Babylon's infrastructure construction of the $13.2 million water pump and treatment facility in Oak Beach and its financial impact to 56 homeowners. I won't go into the detail regarding numbers. You know what they are, okay? This is an unprecedented project for Oak Beach and for the Town of Babylon. The Town of Babylon is building a $13.2 million water treatment facility on a barrier beach to serve 56 homeowners. Again, this is unprecedented. What is also unprecedented in 2022 is the amount of infrastructure and other various funding options available to bring clean and safe drinking water to every American. Those funding options include the American Rescue Plan, President Biden's $1 trillion infrastructure plan, the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2022, Suffolk County and Suffolk County Water Authority initiatives, and a recent July 7th announcement from New York Governor Hochul's office of $255 million now available for critical water infrastructure projects statewide. We've all heard about these initiatives in press, radio, and TV. They are real and they are available. As of today, while some state and potential federal grant funding have been secured for this project, those fundings will come up way short of covering the majority cost of this project, with 56 Town of Babylon homeowners being saddled with an additional tax burden for the next 30 years. I won't be around for that, probably, at the end, because I'm up in age. It would be a win-win for the Town of Babylon, its taxpayers, including the Oak Beach residents, for the Town of Babylon, to obtain as much funding from every level of government and authority before this historic amount of funds are no longer available. Now is the time. Funding is there. May I ask today that the town board continue to diligently pursue every funding avenue available and report back to all 56 homeowners in writing within 30 days the status of these funding efforts with an explanation of eligibility or non-eligibility. There are monies available in unprecedented historic numbers. We need the Town of Babylon to pursue every avenue available for funding and look at any and all creative options to help alleviate the financial burden that will be placed on the Oak Beach homeowners. Clean and safe drinking water is the right of every American and every Town of Babylon resident. Now is the time.
Thanks.
And thank you.
Thank you. David Dukoff?
I'll get to this in a few minutes.
Oh, thank you.
Good morning, my name Supervisor,
Good morning.
board members, Oak Beach residents and other residents. My name is David Dukoff. I have lived at 97 Savannah Walk for over 30 years. I understand the system is being built. There's nothing we can do about it, but I've been drinking my water for 30 years. I have a system with AccuFuture systems, and I've never gotten sick, and I continue to drink the water. My feeling is, as was already spoken, that the town needs to do something. One of the things we do, which wasn't mentioned, is we pay land rent. This year is $4,000 a year. So why isn't some of that money being used for the water system? I don't understand that. Besides that, we pay taxes on our house and our land. I pay like $12,000 a year. I'm not sure that the board understands. Also, I just handed out pictures of the hookup because we're also going to need money for the hookup. They say it's going to be up to $12,500 or more, or $15,000, but I am so far from the road. I'm the third house towards the water, and they have to go through all kinds of well pipes, cesspool pipes, and a high water table. So we don't know how much it's going to cost. And I really feel that some of the money that the town gets from these grants should go for that, because there's a lot of people on fixed incomes who can't afford it. From the road to my boardwalk is 360 feet. From the boardwalk, they have to go under the boardwalk, and under the deck is another 45 feet. So all that is going to cost a lot of money. And we need your help, and we appreciate the town's looking into this and getting back to us right away. Thank you.
Thank you. Courtney Alexander.
Good morning, Supervisor Schaefer, Councilman. Thank you for the opportunity to address you. My name is Courtney Alexander. I live at 83 Oak Beach Road in Oak Beach, and I'm here to urge you to reduce the excessive cost of the Oak Beach water system that 56 families are being forced to pay under a mandate from the town board and the Suffolk County Health Department. The town estimates that each of our families will have to pay $45,000 to build a water treatment plant, plus anywhere from $3,000 to $15,000 to hook up my 100-year-old house to the new system. That amount is a hardship for my family and many in our community, which is home to teachers, retired firefighters, civil servants, artists. It'll be the most expensive water in New York. My family has paid taxes in this community for a century, along with lease payments to the town of Babylon. We have not complained about paying for town and county infrastructure on shore. We have lived with no investment by the town or county in our own infrastructure, and we're a one-road community with 80-year-old electrical transformers. For 5 generations, we have lived on well water. I've drunk this water my entire life. So has my mom, 80 years old. Now our wells are declared to be public wells despite zero public investment. I recently heard Chief of Staff Klusner tell us that this project is our fault because we have illegal wells. I want to set the record straight. Homeowners established wells for groups of households decades ago, legally, in order to dig fewer wells on a small island. We did a good thing environmentally, and now we're being made to pay the price as the state and county declare wells with more than 4 households to be public utilities without public investment. As the standards for public water quality have changed, our wells are considered substandard and no longer an option. This is not our fault. As homes on the island have grown bigger and traded hands, tax revenues have increased for the town. We are a resource for the town, and now we need investment back in our community for affordable, clean water. Our tax dollars are funding water infrastructure at historic levels. Last year, the town received $27 million in American Rescue Plan money, which is permitted for water infrastructure, and with less complications as some of the other grants. And some of those funds were approved last month for West Gilgo's water. Just last week, the governor announced $255 million in water grants. The government's program of moving residents off wells onto treated water has funded millions for residents throughout this county. Dozens of communities, I have lists and lists and lists, and we're being asked to bear an unreasonably high cost. My family spends everything to keep the house for my 80-year-old mother on Social Security and for our next generation. I have spent my adult life dreaming of having my grandkids have the same community I grew up with. We cannot afford to stay to bear this cost on top of our taxes and our lease payments, and we're not second-class citizens of the town of Babylon. So you have told us, and I appreciate it, Supervisor Schaefer, that you won't rest until the assessment on our families is zero. You have these resources from our lease payments and our taxes to make that a reality. And if we can't provide our own water from mandates and other our own governments, then we need your support to make access to our water affordable.
Thanks,
Thank
Courtney.
you.
James Shepherd.
Good morning. Good morning Supervisor Schaefer,
Good morning.
Councilman. Thank you very much. My name is James Shepard. I live at 107 Oak Beach Road. I'm speaking today as a Town of Babylon resident whose family is being asked to pay $45,000 to build the water system that we just heard about so that we can drink uncontaminated water. It's clear that the cause is public health and it's clearly worthy, but it's also clear that that amount of money is also unreasonable and it's inequitable. In 2015, the Town of Babylon sent a letter to 56 Oak Beach residents informing us that the cost of the system would be $2.2 million. And with great news that $1.8 million in New York State funding had been acquired. That was a very good deal that left only $400,000 of the system unfunded. It is now almost 8 years later. We have not secured any additional funding, but the cost of this project is now over $13 million. I just learned yesterday that the cost of the interest alone on the bond, the loan, has increased $1 million because of increased interest rates, I suppose. So as such, I'm asking the Town of Babylon specifically to dedicate a staff member who can crack the code on how to successfully acquire this historic amount of funding. How can we do it? It's too much for one person to do on their own unless they're truly dedicated to this. It's clear that it's not easy to acquire this funding, and it's going to require continuous effort, perseverance, and persistence. If no additional funds are found, I've been told to expect $1,500 on my tax bill, in addition, of course, to the hookup fees and the water itself. And I've been told that it would be a cap. I'm asking the Town of Babylon to please communicate to us what securities we have, what protection we have, that number won't increase clearly as the cost of this project will continue to increase over time. And I would like to ask if I may submit some documents of similar cases throughout Suffolk County where residents on contaminated private wells have been moved to public water.
Sure. Submit them all.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. John Williams.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for letting me speak today. I'm a resident of a longtime resident of Town of Babylon. I was raised in Amityville, and now I presently live at Oak Beach over 30 years. And I understand the idea of building the well, but I've been on a well. I have an excellent water system from Mermaids, and it's an awesome system. We've never had a problem with the well that I'm on, and I don't see. I have an aeration system, and as far as I know, the only contamination we've ever had is iron, but it's bacterial iron, biological, and it can be aerated out very, very easily. And the water I have in my house has been excellent. I've never had any issue whatsoever. And I've upgraded my system after Hurricane Sandy, so my water system is great. And as far as we know, the water goes down probably below the Lloyd Aquifer, which renders it thousands of years old. It's probably the purest water on Long Island. We've never had an agricultural situation over there or pollution of that type. But again, reiterating what my fellow residents said, it's a money issue. The money is enormous. And we have no idea how much it's going to cost. And it just seems like it can go on forever. And I love living in Oak Beach. Come visit. It's a wonderful place to live and have fun. But at the same time, what is the cost going to be? And on a tax base, I want to continue to live there. And like the gentleman said before, the hookups, I'm probably maybe close to 200 feet from where the main line might be. So I have to pay for that, plus pay for the yearly expense, plus pay for just Suffolk County, whatever it is, $50 a monthly fee. It's just an enormous thing. And there's possibilities of they've mentioned, people have previously mentioned, there's a lot of opportunity for money out there. And I really think we should really investigate that. And if at the very least would be the leasehold money. And we need your help. We're taxpayers like everybody else. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mary Beth Shepherd.
Hi, good morning, guys. My name is Mary Beth Shepherd. I live at 107 Oak Beach Road, and I brought my daughter here today. I'm a teacher in the town, and one of the things that I teach is water quality. I'm teaching all of the Town of Babylon's kids water. I bring them here to do their science fair projects at all of your festivals, and I brought my daughter here today because we're having an old-fashioned summer. The cost of living on Long Island is absolutely astronomical. And the fact that I'm trying to balance my checkbook and I don't know what my water bill is gonna be next year terrifies me. I had to cut camps this year. I had to cut programs. I'm dragging my daughter around everywhere, and this is for clean drinking water. I know there's so much funding out there, and it just seems like the town board needs help writing these grants and just accessing this money. I write grants at school all the time, and I have a team of teachers that do it and supportive staff that help me. I can't fathom the idea of having to spend $1,500 a year added to my taxes, plus the hookup, plus I have to pay water like everyone else in the county. There's 1.2 million water users in this county. Why can't I pay like them? What makes Oak Beach so special that we have these astronomical prices? I sacrifice a lot to live where I am, to give my children this quality of life. And I just can't fathom the idea of having to pay this much for clean water. So I'm sorry that you've got all this grief on your shoulders from our community, but super important to us. I look at the lady down the road, she collects cans to pay for her taxes. We just have some real elderly people in our community. And yes, the rich are moving in, they can afford it, but we're on fixed salaries. I can't afford it. I can't afford these types of bills that you're projecting for us to have. And we don't even know what the final number is gonna be. So I'm just pleading with you to please help us secure more money for this funding and perhaps get more people on board. Make a team out there. We need it right now because I don't want to move my kids off Long Island and out of Oak Beach. It's just, we just have a beautiful spot. We need clean drinking water like everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you. Tom Perry? Tom, do you need that taken down?
I think it comes down.
Yeah, Patrick will. Comes out of the case.
Oh, thanks.
Just state your name and address.
Yes, Thomas Perry, 2346 South Stevens Neck Road, Seaford, New York, 11783. And now for something completely different. I don't have a complaint. I have something I want to sell in the town of Babylon. The science is called Magneto Hydrodynamics. It's a very old science that people haven't heard of. When you put these very powerful magnets on a fuel line, like, for example, of this building, it makes the natural gas burn cleaner and more efficiently. You save about 20 to 25% of the heating bill. And I can do that for every Babylon town building. And this small little red unit, that goes on vehicles. When fuel passes through a magnetic field, oxygen dissolves into the fuel better. It's like magnetically fanning a fire. The fire and fuel burns cleaner and more efficiently. And when I save someone 20-25% on their heating bill, that's how much carbon emissions are also reduced at the very same time. These units pay for themselves in a couple of years. They never wear out, and you don't have to maintain them. And does the town of Babylon have some? Who can you direct me to talk to?
So I'm gonna do that right now.
Department of Conservation, something like that?
Well, I'm gonna direct you to Vinnie Piccoli, who's our Commissioner of Public Works.
Okay.
So he's in the back here. He'll raise his hand, but he'll come to you if you wanna go outside in the hallway. And Joe Ferrandino, who's our Commissioner of General Services. So the two of them are in charge of both our facilities, anything that we're doing with the facilities in terms of conservation, energy, we're just finishing up redoing the main town hall here, the heating and ventilation system. So why don't we have you talk to them? And also General Services covers purchasing, so that if this is something that we'd like to explore, it may require an RFP or an RFQ or just being put out to bid.
What is an RF?
RFP is a request for proposals. But they would know the legal
Gotcha.
standards that we would have to meet. RFQ is request for qualifications, so it depends on what, but let them talk to you first and see what they have to say.
Good, thank you
Okay.
very much.
So,
Thank you for directing me to them.
you're welcome. So Vinny and Joe?
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah, they can meet out in the hallway and get contact info. Thank you.
Mr. Council, I reside at 11 Old Farm Road in Levittown, but I own property over at 11 Reeves Avenue in Farmingdale. Here to speak about the cannabis zoning that the town has in preparation for the market.
We're in the middle of preparing it so that this board would consider it probably sometime in September.
Great. I just wanted to make some recommendations.
Sure.
Right now, what we see going on in New Jersey is a massive land grab for retail establishments, all right? Because they zoned the zoning of cannabis retail establishments to such a degree where there's very limited land and property for these establishments to go and pick up. Since cannabis isn't federally legal, retail establishments can't go the traditional route for funding for these establishments. So that means there's no bank or mortgage that I could get on a retail establishment. So small and mid-sized businesses are hit the most when it comes to this zoning. I've spoken to certain members of the board, and what you guys have planned for the cannabis zoning is great. I just wanted to make some small caveats. When it comes to zoning away from residential areas, I know typical practices is crow's view. Straight line from door to door, retail establishment to residential. And I believe you guys planned on doing 1,000 feet. I recommend 500 feet, but instead of doing a crow's line, you could also do a public walkway, 500 feet from door to door, how a person, a pedestrian, will walk it. All right, that could also expand the type of retail industries.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, so that we can have more properties available for retail, small and mid-sized people, because the state has done great strides in making this accessible for small and mid-sized business people. We're not trying to get billionaires involved, all right? We're trying to get mom and pop shops opening up in the town of Babylon, and you guys have already made it a lot more accessible than other towns that have done what they have been doing in the state. So I really applaud you guys for that. But so there's different things that we could do when we talk about cannabis zoning. So walkway access instead of crow's view, 500 feet instead of 1,000 feet. Yeah, these are pretty much certain things that I want to speak to you guys about.
Good, we appreciate that.
If you guys have my number, please reach out to me.
Yes, we will be.
I sit on multiple boards and committees across the state.
Yeah, Carmen, what we're gonna do is when we have a final draft, we're gonna be in touch with you as well as a number of other advocates. And we're also working with the state board and the town of Brookhaven, town of Southampton, that have already opted in and trying to craft similar zoning so that we're all on the same page.
Great. Thank you so much, guys, for your time.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else wish to address the board? Okay, the motion from Councilman Martinez, second by Councilman Gregory to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.